classroom, where students work on problems that have oftentimes no real solution, or it's unclear from the outset, where they set goals with their clients to try and achieve these goals within a certain period of time. And that poses challenges. But these are the kind of challenges that they will encounter in the workplace. They will work in a setting where it's collaborative. They have to work with others. That poses challenges. They have to work with clients who have different ways of operating. And so how do they work through all these things? And that's where this practice comes in. So for the students, I think it's been challenging and hopefully fun along the process. Maybe it's been fun in the sense you don't have to hear a faculty member like me go blah, 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 and then you write, and take a quiz or an exam. So we are trying in this honors program to really introduce the skills and tools that will help them as they go out and become leaders, which they will in a very short time. So to make this program work requires people from beyond the university. And among those people are the clients, many of whom are here today. So they have worked with the students over these 20 weeks and have been an essential part of this whole process. So I want to thank all the clients for all the time you put in to help with the students. So let's give the clients a little. And also the course wouldn't really have been the same without the help from two key individuals. One, Lolita Nelson Atkins, who's been essential to this class. So let's thank Lolita. And Kyle Resniski, who I think has just arrived as a TA whose skills in writing has really benefited the students, and she is hopefully in a year or so finishing her PhD in topics involving writing. So she's been a tremendous asset to the program too. So rather than getting into my professorial lecturing kind of stuff, let's get started with the first group, which is the Viewpoint Photographic Art Center.
How's everyone doing today? Good. That's good to hear. Thank you for coming out on a Saturday morning. My name is Remick.
I'm Suttie. And I'm Megan Watson.
And our client was the Viewpoint Photographic Art Center. So we're going to cover three things for you today in this presentation. Laura is going to be introducing you to our client, and that's Viewpoint, obviously, as we did before. Chloe's going to talk about our research that we've done for the project, and also some challenges that we have encountered while completing our project. And finally, Megan's going to talk about our solutions that we proposed at Viewpoint, and also our ultimate final project conclusion.
So, who is our client? So, Viewpoint Photographic Art Center is a nonprofit photography gallery located in Midtown Sacramento. They have roughly 500 members, and the gallery is open to the public, so people can come in for free and view the photography. They've been in the Sacramento area for 21 years, and our primary contact throughout this project was Mr. John Swain. So what are some of Viewpoint's goals? They would like to double their annual revenue. So they're working with roughly $100,000 per year, and they're looking to double that in the next few years. Secondly, they'd like to hire an employee. And lastly, they'd like to improve their student programs and attendance. So, some of the fundamental obstacles and the reason why we are here today. So, as mentioned previously, they have a lack of funding. So they were hoping to have us brainstorm some ideas and methods to increase revenue. Secondly, they have little student involvement. So they were hoping that by getting a student group at UC Davis, they'd be able to increase student involvement. And lastly, these 2 points go together. Because Viewpoint is a volunteer-based organization, they struggle to necessarily organize the 500 members and volunteers. So they're looking to maybe see if they can find some baseline, some way to better organize their volunteer group.
All right, so to start our project off, we started off doing research for our review paper, which is a 10 to 15 page paper that was one of the core assignments for the course. And we looked into a lot of things for research for the paper, and the thing that we found most pertinent to our project was the current status of public art education. One of the main things that we found was that ever since the No Child Left Behind Act, the focus on education has been much more heavily focused on science, math, English, things like that, and that's kind of left arts education really behind. Paired with that, there's just just been less money due to the economic woes of our country right now, and so that's left a lot less money. There's been budget cuts all across the education system, and the first thing to go has really been the art programs. And so with that, we found that there really is a need for places such as Viewpoint to have student programs and have that artistic outlet for people who are interested in going into art in the future. Following our review paper research, we did research on other galleries and colleges in the area. The most informative gallery that we visited was the Blue Line Art Gallery in Roseville. The Blue Line Gallery does a lot of things that we think that Viewpoint could emulate to help increase their membership and increase their revenue. So a little bit about the Blue Line Art Gallery. They have 4 employees, 2 part-time and 2 full-time. They're a huge staple of the Roseville community. They do a lot of things that we really want to see Viewpoint doing in the future, such as business partnerships, sponsorships, community outreach, things like that, which Megan will touch upon later. We also talked to different colleges just to see kind of what was the need at the collegiate level for different art programs. We spoke to Randy Snook, who is the Sierra College Art Program Director, and he really touched upon the lack of funding and opportunity that there is at the community college level. As was mentioned before, there's just been budget cuts all over the place, and there's not the money, the funding, or the attention needed for students to get the development in these art programs that they really need. And so he said that places like Viewpoint can serve as the outlet for those students who want to do that, and for those students who want to go into that field. So he really just touched upon the need that we really can fulfill at Viewpoint. Then we also did interviews with Jeff Redmond, who's the active president of Viewpoint Gallery, as well as with Judy Yemen, who is the previous president of the Viewpoint Gallery, as well as the student program director. So Jeff he gave us more information on membership statistics and the expectations of the Viewpoint organization. He gave us information that we didn't have before that really helped us in completing our project, such as the number of members, the proportion of those members that were students, the attendance at all of their events, things like that. And he also then went on to fill us in on the expectations in the next few years of Viewpoint. The organization has been around, as previously mentioned, for around 20 years, and so they have had pretty much the same base of people for those 20 years, which has led to having an older based population at the center. And so they're really looking to fill the center with younger people to bring in new ideas, new revenue, things such as that. So he was really informative and helped us a lot in our project. We also spoke with Judy Emma, and she gave us a lot of background on the student programs that they have right now. And they actually have a lot of really great student programs at Viewpoint right now. Their main problem is that people just don't know that these programs exist. So her goal for Viewpoint and for our project is just to help them with ideas on how we can get the word out, how we can get people to know that these programs do exist, and that people have these opportunities and that they just need to go there to really find out about them. Some challenges that we faced in our project was just the physical distance to the client. As Laura mentioned, it was in Midtown Sacramento, and all of our meetings with our client were done face-to-face, so we had to travel out there, which was a bit difficult just to coordinate, as well as their schedule coordination amongst ourselves, with classes, jobs, things like that, and with our client, John. So that was troublesome at times, but in the end it all worked out because we were able to coordinate with our client, coordinate amongst ourselves, and find good times to meet. In addition to that, we dealt with a lack of response from people that we reached out to, individuals that we wanted to interview, and galleries that we wanted to visit. People just not getting back to us, which was unfortunate. But despite this, we were able to come up with enough evidence, enough research to really give us a solid backbone for our project. And so after all this research, we reevaluated, we looked at what Viewpoint's goals were, and clearly we realized that we couldn't bring about an extra $100,000 in revenue in a few short months' time. So we narrowed in on what we wanted our goal to be for our project. And our goal was to make Viewpoint a destination. Make Viewpoint a place that people want to go, a place that people know is there and that people really want to go see, so that they can get more people there, get more people interested, and have more people investing in Viewpoint and in the future of Viewpoint.
So after looking at the research and visiting the galleries and our interviews, we came up with 3 solutions for Viewpoint. Those were community outreach, partnerships and sponsorships, and hiring an intern. For community outreach, some of our ideas were advertising in local publications. Viewpoint does not have a large budget, so we're talking about low-cost publications, maybe the California Aggie here at UC Davis, or the local paper at Sac State. any place where Viewpoint can get their name out there where people can read it. We also talked about attending local events. This is one of the ideas we got from Blue Line in Roseville. This would be like going to a local farmer's market or an outdoor concert, any place where they could have a table, pass out some flyers, and just get people to know about Viewpoint, because that's going to get more members. We also talked about going to college open houses. College open houses, this is a place where members from Viewpoint can go to a college open house and tell them about their program. And students can learn about Viewpoint, and at the same time, Viewpoint can get their name out there as well. So it's beneficial for both groups. We also talked about one of the ideas that we're really excited about is maybe having a career night. Viewpoint has 500 members, all in many different disciplines. This could be the art disciplines or another career that they've had. And so this could be an idea where students or young adults can come to Viewpoint and listen to all of their members speak. But at the same time, it's beneficial for both, because Viewpoint's getting a student population and young adult population to come to their gallery. But at the same time, the students are benefiting, so they can network and listen to all of these different members talk about their careers. Also, we talked about partnerships and sponsorships, another idea that Chloe mentioned earlier that we got from Blue Line. And for sponsorships, this is a mutualistic relationship for both groups, because Viewpoint gets some funding, but at the same time, these local businesses can have their name on the flyer that Viewpoint's handing out at the local events. So this is going to be helpful for both groups. And we also have the idea of partnerships. So partnerships would be maybe at Pete's Coffee, which we have up there. You could have, with your membership at Viewpoint, maybe like 15% off at the coffee place. So then this is going to help both groups out with that too, because you get a little bit more for your membership at Viewpoint. So our last idea was hiring an intern. And this was one of the ideas because of that volunteer-based organization and kind of the struggle to have the communication always work out. We thought maybe we could have a steady force in the office every day or every couple of days, where an intern, maybe this could be low cost, so maybe from Sac State or UC Davis, and this could be paid or unpaid. And this is going to help both out, because the intern is going to be able to build their career and get experience, but at the same time, Viewpoint is going to have that steady force that comes into the office every day and keeps things kind of on track. And this also could help with the student involvement, because once one student learns about Viewpoint, that's going to help spread the word as well. So for our final results, what we came up with was a packet of information, which we sent to our client. And this packet contained the job description that we thought that the intern could continue for us after our 2 quarters. So this is the job description for them, and then also a comprised packet of all the ideas I just spoke about. So community outreach, partnerships and sponsorships, and hiring an intern. And we also looked up local businesses that we thought they could partner with and sponsor. And we also looked up local fundraising events that they could attend so they could table and get their name out there. So we sent this off in a final packet, and we think that this would be a good way for Viewpoint to continue what we've done over the last 2 quarters into the next couple of years and months.
So we'd like to thank Mr. John Swain and Mr. Michael Dunleavy. They were our clients and our chief contacts within the Viewpoint organization and acted as the liaisons between us and them. We also like to thank Jeff Redmond and Judy Yema. They provided, as I heard before, excellent information that we used to complete our project. We'd also like to thank Mr. Vaughn Yema for attending today. Thank you very much. Finally, we'd like to thank Professor Terry Nathan, Lolita Nelson, Atkins, and McPower Zazinski for their help with our project. And with that, we'd like to thank you for your attention, and we'd love to take any questions that any of you may have. Thank you.
For your intern, how would you envision the commitment? Like a quarter or a year?
We have on our job description right now for a quarter, but it kind of depends. Maybe they would get another intern after the quarter, or if the intern was interested in continuing, they could do that as well. Considering the timing as it's now approaching spring quarter, right now we're looking at 1 quarter. Any other questions?
Ron, so I'm going to talk to him here at the table.
What are some student programs that are available right now?
So right now they have workshops they hold about 8 times per year. They come in the spring and fall, and they're just workshops with photographers. They speak about either what they do as a career for their photography or different photography techniques, things like that. So people can get ideas on lighting for photography or different ways to have different models for photography, or just things like that. So specific aspects of photography as well as specific individuals who can shed light on kind of what a career is actually like.
They also have critiques too, so if you're into photography, they'll do a student critique night, so you can come in with your work and they'll look over it and say things you can do to make it better.
So I know that you didn't focus on the goal of increasing revenue, but as you did your research, were there any avenues that arose that might help Viewpoint increase their revenue?
We looked into quite a few grants, but it turns out that Viewpoint has quite a few of those already and started working on getting more. Also, grants are very difficult to come by. So our primary idea was increasing their member group, which would help with both revenue and younger